4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Chadwick.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast nobody asked for, but here you are anyway. So what's up?
Here you are.
How's everybody doing this week, man? What's going on, Leaf? What's going on, Chadwick? Y'all doing good, man?
Fantastic. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do than sit here with us. Don't pretend you got something going on. I ain't got nothing going on.
Short week for us so far. Like we did, we recorded one 2 days ago. We're hitting this one up tonight, and then we're just going to skip a day and do one more.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a grind. I don't know how these Hollywood guys do it. So
It's really weird.
Well, they don't have to do other like real life stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like cook and...
That's right, they're trash. Actually wanted to talk to you about something that's kind of serious, an addiction that I kind of have. Wanted to come clean, and that addiction is to trash TV, aka reality television. It's been something that I've been keeping a secret for a very long time. I guess it probably started with the Real World.
Get back with us when you have real addiction. I used to suck dick for cocaine.
I've seen him. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Back in the day, I don't know, man. Like, I remember even in my 20s, VH1 had this whole run of celebrities like living together in a house, like kind of Real World style.
Yeah.
And it led to this, probably the peak of reality television and trash TV with Flavor of Love. when we watched the wholesome character of Flavor Flav. Are you serious?
What?
Yeah, boy!
Trying to find love, man. Yeah, he was just trying to find love. And in one of the episodes, and if I can find the clip, I'll put it in here. After an elimination, one of his contestants, as they were very classy women, actually shit on one of the stairs.
Watch out,
What
you
is
guys.
that?
Oh my goodness. Watch out. I think
I was like, wait a minute, I know we don't have no dogs in here, but they on my stairs.
She couldn't quite get to the bathroom in time. She was so nervous she was going to get eliminated, and I assume was not wearing any undercarriage under her skirt, and lo and behold, there was a Mr. Hanky on the stairs. Guys, I just wanted to share that addiction with you guys.
What is it about
Is that a shit?
Yeah, that's really what happened.
What is it about reality TV that, like, you can't look away? Is it like a train wreck where you just want to see the worst dregs of human beings being themselves?
I think it makes you feel better about yourself.
It does, because I've also been watching 1,000-Pound Sisters lately. So,
wait, are they each 500 pounds and then adds to 1,000?
No, one of them's bigger. I think they go to a 6 and a 4.
Oh, I'd say about a deuce and a half. Not bad.
Deuce and a half.
Well, your shit story kind of reminded me of something too. At lunch, I always go to this little park about 5 miles on the road, and I try to get some walking in every day, get my steps in. But today, there was this older couple. They're walking like the opposite direction of me, right? And the guy, he's kind of tall. They're definitely like from the Midwest. Like, he was talking, and she was kind of like, right on his hip or whatever. We go around. I come to meet up with him again, and he's still talking, like just nonstop. And I don't see her. And then as I'm getting closer, I can like see behind him, and she's like a good first down behind him, and he's still talking. And when I get up to him, I go, go, looks like she's lagging behind a little bit. And he goes, oh. He looks over his shoulder and never even breaks stride. Just goes, ah. and starts talking again. So
is he talking to himself?
So, well, he's talking to her, but
relationship goals.
So I get on past him, right, and I'm coming up on her, and like I notice, I can see in her face that like she's recognized that I'm like caught on in this situation.
You caught up to a ruse,
and she's like, she's waddling. She's kind of got that little penguin like waddle back and forth, you know, and then she just like she sees me, and then she goes, Henry, God damn it.
Why is that so funny? Did you laugh?
Oh yeah. But to tie that in with Chris's story, I'm sure one of them shit their pants
shortly after that, or during that. Who knows?
Yeah. Or maybe they made it back to the stairs in their house.
Maybe they did make it back to the stairs, which will bring us to
something.
Get out of the street, you fucking bum!
You know,
Henry,
something
God
tells
damn
me,
it!
Something tells me Henry does a lot of drinking.
Dude, Henry does. Speaking of a lot of drinking, I'm actually going to finish off the Knob Creek smoked maple today. Got me a little bit of a mixer in here, and we are off and running, gentlemen. Leaf, what do you got, man?
Brother, I'm gonna keep it classy today, bro. You've heard of Coca-Cola. You've heard of Jack and Cola. Put them together, baby.
Oh,
number 7 brand, dude. The Coke Zero, trying to, you know what I mean? Watch my figure. You know what I'm saying?
It's the Cobbs.
You guys remember the Jack's Hard Cola?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why
Yes,
didn't
I
that
do.
last?
I think it was the diarrhea.
That had something to do with it, no doubt.
It was all the wives with bruises.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. That probably. I don't know. I don't know if it was. We were also in our 20s, so I mean,
was that Zima, the Zima days?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been because I remember that.
And Jack's Hard Cola, you get a 12-pack when you order the DVD of Alabama Man.
Alabama, wow! He's quick, he's strong, he's active!
Yeah.
And I'm just.
What do you got there, Shadwick?
I'm finishing off the.
Nice.
Light.
Sweet.
But
very good.
Like
good.
I said, I go out of the glass.
Keep it classy.
Pinky
there it is.
Yeah.
Raised pinky. Excellent.
Dude,
Excellent.
got to do a raised pinky, man. So let's go ahead and move over to our topic then. Beavis and Butthead.
Hold on just a second. I've got to say, we're starting a little bit late tonight because Leaf got tied up or whatever. And, you know, I'm going to let it go, but I've just got to vent for a second. Because in that 30 minutes that I had to wait on you, my wife, for whatever fucking reason, solidarity in women or whatever, was watching Taylor Thomason's special on Netflix. And yeah, I can tell by your faces you don't even know who she is.
I don't know what that is.
She's a female stand-up comedian.
Oh no.
And that's why you don't know who she is. Let me just tell you, I would rather listen to my teenager interrupt me and tell me that he just learned something in life that he should have known if I was a better parent. Like, yeah. I would rather listen to being indirectly told that I failed as a parent than to listen to a second of her fucking stand-up.
I would rather listen to Fran Drescher for 8 hours.
Oh my God. Was it that bad? It can't be that bad. Like, she wouldn't have a Netflix special if she wasn't excellent, right? Only the best get on Netflix.
They call her Trish the Dish.
Nobody calls her that.
God damn it.
This episode, the episode this week is on Beavis and Butthead, and it's going to be season 1. which, like I said, is a little convoluted because there's what your definition of season 1 apparently can vary due to what started on Liquid Television and what kind of was on MTV. They actually rehashed the Liquid TV stuff. So before we even get into that, like, can't talk about Beavis and Butthead without talking about Mr. Mike Judge. The absolutely an actual genius. I mean, like, he is like what, an engineer. Like, he's a freaking
he worked on, like, was it F-18s or something?
Yeah, he's a touring bass player. Like, he's a like phenomenal musician, and then just decided
he can even sing alongside Cher.
I got you, babe.
Yeah, he just decided one day, yeah, you know, fuck it, man, I'm gonna do some cartoons, and thank God he did, because you know, he actually started with the cartoon. I think it was actually called Office Space.
Yeah,
but it was Milton was who the character really was. But that kind of led to what the movie that we know as Office Space, which is a gem, which we will cover in great detail at some point.
Yeah, I think that kind of got into development after he got picked up by, was it SNL, right? He was doing Milton cartoons.
He was doing the Milton cartoon. I believe it was during Beavis and Butthead, though, that the Milton got picked up by SNL. So I forgot there was a film festival, which I wish I knew about growing up. It probably wasn't out where we were, but it would show like all these kind of indie adult cartoons in movie theaters. And it would kind of tour and go around, and they would do these little festivals. I forgot what it was called.
I bet that tastes good.
So Mike Judge got Beavis and Butthead. He basically did Frog Baseball. I think from what the story goes, he tried to find. He had it on these little circuits, these animation circuits. He found some people. He saw an article for like Liquid TV was looking. If you guys don't remember, Liquid Television, it's fucking weird and kind of cool animation thing on MTV. Had Aeon Flux.
Yeah.
Which I just want to say something about that, because at that point in time, like, people had never seen like what you would consider like adult animation. I never have. Like, that was my first foray to see, like, and also about like Frog Baseball was on there, which, I mean, if no one knows what that is, you may or may not want to look it up. It's basically the characters of Beavis and Butthead hitting frogs with baseball bats and killing them. And
I was fine with that, but then at the very end of it, dog baseball. Yeah, and there's two different versions of that.
Yeah,
there is
the original version. Yeah, the original version is it goes black, and you hear the whack and a dog whining,
and a dog yelp or whatever.
And then rightfully MTV cut that part out.
Yeah, cut that out. So he got this on, I guess, on this little animation circuit, and then was able to, because he bought a camera, I believe, with his own like fucking money to film this shit. Got this. He said he looked some people up, I guess, at MTV. He tried to make his shit look a little more professional and out there. Sent in a tape, and they actually watched it, and so that got him on Liquid Television. And then after he was on Liquid Television, they were like, we got to have a series of this, which, to Leaf's point, The Simpsons, I believe, debuted in like 91, 92.
On the Tracy Ullman show.
Well, like when I think the series itself was like 91, 92 on Fox. Oh. Right, so they were in the 80s, so even them on Tracy Ullman was kind of like weird, and they weren't even nearly what The Simpsons would become. So, like he said, to his point, like Aeon Flux was way fucking ahead of anything that we should have ever watched.
Dude, I didn't know whether to be like, I didn't know whether to have nightmares or a boner, so I had both every time I watched Aeon Flux, dude.
Like a fear boner?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I looking at?
Or just a weird boner? Like,
yeah, I mean,
it was like a confused boner.
I found that Aeon Flux was on like a streaming service, and I watched like part of the first episode, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
The vibe is weird. It's a weird fucking vibe too. Like the whole like there's just a weird energy that thing puts off. Like it's just weird.
It's creepy and like you cannot look away. You cannot. Like it's the strangest cartoon, one of the strangest cartoons. It's like sexual. There's something vaguely like obviously sexual about it, like the character.
And
but then it's like
every episode is different. Like I think she dies in almost every episode. Like, but it's like there's always like this weird. There's always somebody she's like into or something, or they're into her.
Yeah,
I remember there's a big fat blob in it there, which kind of ties back to 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Would you please?
Now, did you?
For God's sake, stop it!
You need help. Get some help.
The joke is that's the name of the porn that he keeps watching.
Dude, I would be less worried if that was the case.
No shit. I need help, guys. So anyway, so that's kind of where MTV, which is crazy how quick it worked though. I want to say Frog Baseball was like 92 and the Beavis and Butthead series was 93 and let's fucking go. Like a year. You know, they probably paid Mike Judge dick, got him a small staff.
I bet he got nothing, dude.
So they bought it from him, right? Like that for the first season.
I'm sure the 2 episodes he had, because he had Frog Baseball and Liquid TV, and there was one that was called like, Peace, Love, and something else or whatever. It was the one where they go to the monster truck show.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Van Driesen gets killed by the monster truck, and it's just really weird. Like these are early episodes, are
like they get covered in shit or something.
Yeah, there's like a big poo monster that like happens after the also it's like they're at a monster truck show, which made me think. I was like, oh shit, like in Idiocracy, there's the big like monster truck scene or whatever. Which is kind of similar to like what this would be, and I'm just like, damn, like Mike Judge, like you can kind of see in these early on, like you know, with the Office Space cartoon, with this
Idiocracy's like,
Looks like a fag too.
I'll base your ass, face, ass.
I like money.
Yeah, I do like money. Go away, baiting. But so he even like I said, he revisits that later on, like the monster truck like gags and stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. He's from like Texas, and I think you see a lot of that like influence, like coming up. Despite the fact that we already like established Mike Judge is a genius. Like he comes from like a humble area like in America.
Yeah, I want to say I think
like,
he grew up in like Albuquerque or something. I think. Right?
Did he really?
Yeah.
He does a lot of white trash, lowbrow like comedy stuff. There's like he deals with a lot of common like folk, not just Beavis and Butthead, but obviously going on to King of the Hill. It's like there's just blue collar, like you know, normal American stock as far as his characters are concerned.
So he had those 2 shorts, right? And then and then MTV wanted to buy those, or they wanted to buy the characters.
I think that they signed it. It was his property, so they signed on for Beavis and Butthead season 1. But what they did is they took those first 2 episodes. That's where it's kind of convoluted on what technically is season 1 and isn't. Right. Those episodes aired with videos in season 1. So Frog Baseball is split up. It's maybe a 5-minute episode, maybe, but it's in there and it's split up with videos. And then the other one is also on there, but those did not air very often.
So I was listening to something he was talking about. MTV bought whatever it was. I don't know if it was the character license or whatever for like $18,000, and he held off for a long time, and like I think he said like 6 months or something. He held off, and then he thought that they were going to walk, so he went ahead and accepted it, and thought, well, at least I'll get some notoriety from it. I mean, maybe it'll get me some more whatever. Not realizing I guess that they wanted him to oversee creating new episodes for the season or whatever. And season 1 only has how many episodes?
If you count the 2 they bought, it's only 5. So there's only 3 others on top of this.
Okay, so there's only 3 in the season, but they put in an order for 65.
Jesus Christ!
And he was working alone when he did it. So I think he said it took him like something crazy, like 4 months or something, to do like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So when they brought on some more like animators and stuff to like carry the load or whatever, but he said that their lawyer that set up the contract left these like gaping loopholes in there where he was supposed to get paid like hourly. So he he was getting like a shit ton of hours put in for the animation.
Yeah.
And his lawyer's like, hey, you might want to look at this because they owe you a shit ton of money now. And so he was able to use that as leverage to buy the property back.
Oh, that's good at least.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know they actually like bought the property from him, but like, I mean, I guess that makes sense because MTV, I mean, as we know, when they released this on DVD and stuff, you couldn't include the videos anymore because back then MTV, if your video played on MTV, they could put it on whatever the fuck they wanted. Like,
yeah, and MTV was just notorious for trying to get like new artists or whatever under these shit contracts.
Yeah.
Well, like almost like a lifetime contract.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, it was. I mean, what are they? A subsidiary of Viacom? Like, I mean, this is a big fucking undertaking and organization. The MTV eventually is, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon. Yeah. I mean, they were what cable television was.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were Nickelodeon.
Yeah, they own them now. But yeah, they were all, from what I understand too. I think that's why Ren and Stimpy was able to go.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I think
MTV,
that's like
from Nickelodeon to MTV so easily.
There's some crossovers there with those cartoons.
But so these 3 episodes. So
there's only 3 in season 1. Right?
Yeah, so they're pretty short. So what we kind of wanted to do is give a little, background on Mike Judge. I've got a little bit of background on how he actually came up with some characters and things on some podcasts and stuff I've listened to. So I'll start with I guess with Beavis, which is like the funniest one to me, how he came up with this. And I guess like he was in like a calculus class, and he said that I guess they changed teachers at some point, and
a super hot teacher.
This super hot teacher comes in. I guess rumored to be a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And this kid up front, is like, I guess, super smart kid or whatever, but he is like, just, how it is, man. You be in high school. Man, if I had a Dallas Cow, I'd hate to tell you what I was attracted to when I was in high school, what kind of teachers.
You sound like Boomhauer there for a second.
Yeah, what I was, dang old. But
dang old, the skirt sitting on the desk. And titty falling out.
But so he had, I guess this guy was just like, every time she would say anything, he'd be like, yeah, like he was just biting his bottom lip and like laughing like this because he was just, when he describes it, it makes sense. Like, because this dude was just a ball of like testosterone, high school with a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
There had probably have been a little bit of autism in that kid, I imagine as well. I just want to say that there had to be some spectrum.
Well, he did say that it was just the laugh.
Yeah,
he said the guy was actually cool. Like he was like a football player, like good athlete, stuff. Like he wasn't like Beavis. It was
just that nervous laugh because
so he was getting the vibe. The guy was putting on that like goofy vibe.
Yeah. And so like,
I understand.
I guess him and his buddies, which I mean makes sense because we used to do that shit at the movie theater where I would do an impression of a city manager, man. Hey, what are y'all doing over here? And apparently, so I was doing this impression of the city manager because Mike Judge talks about he'd do impressions of people he knew. He didn't really have celebrities and shit.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? And apparently what happened with me is the people I thought were my friends went back to the city manager and said, hey, this guy does a really good impression of him. So this city manager comes to me.
I remember that.
I was like 19. He comes up to me and he's just like, so here you do like a good impression of me. And I was just like, yeah. he's like, well, let me hear it. And I was like, what's going on, man? And he just looks at me dead in the eye and he's like, that's actually pretty good. And he just like, the conversation kind of ended and he's like, all right, man. Like, what's up?
Then he like posts the paper on the wall. He's like, get everybody out here now.
Yeah.
Chris told me that story. He's like, dude confronted me, man. I was like, what? He's like, man, these stupid idiots told him about my impression. I was like, what happened? He's like, he made me do it in front of him.
I was like,
I
mean, I'm already here. Like, look, what was I supposed to do? Be like, no, I don't do that. I was like, no, I'm not gonna fucking lie.
You were straight up, dude.
I was straight up with him, and then he lost his job because he got a DUI in a company car. Anyway, we'll move on.
Allegedly.
And clip it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I hadn't really been drinking tonight.
No, man.
I'll just go ahead and
I hadn't been. I haven't been drinking. I just had beer.
Yeah. I ain't drinking.
that one-off shot, man. Come on, man. For editing, Chris, I just want to say, just put that company DUI is the
is the short. Yeah, I got it. So one of the other ones, he said, I guess because he said like Beavis. That's just where you got the Beavis laugh.
Yeah.
And then Butthead, I guess, was another kid that he had. I guess it was this guy's that.
Iron butt.
Yeah.
What?
There's this guy, I guess, that was like, why was he the iron butt? Oh, he would he would let everybody kick him in the ass. And then
he's like, see, don't hurt.
Yeah, it's so like then I guess there was a friend with him, and then Mike Judge called him like because it was the iron butt, and then there was just like butt head or whatever. Like he just thought that was funny. And I guess they said the character of Butthead was loosely based around just like he kind of reappears in like King of the Hill. Like there's that one like character that's in the classroom or whatever. But like he said they had like a little treehouse they played at, and this one guy like they leave one day, they come back, the treehouse has like been destroyed, and then this guy like walks up to him like at school and he's like, we destroyed your treehouse.
Yeah.
Like it's like
it was Dooley in King of the Hill.
Yeah.
The redheaded kid. It's like,
yep. But like that's where they
I saw your mom's butt.
Yeah. So he just I don't know, there it is. Like so he just takes this, he's drawing these, and actually he said he tried to draw like some of these guys exact, and it just didn't it kind of just took him in a different direction as he started kind of putting pen to paper. And then
he said that he always liked the way Pigpen was drawn on the Charlie Brown cartoons. Like, kind of sloppy, and you can really see that with like Butthead's hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he said he was going for. And it's crazy to think like the detail and everything that goes in, because you watch it's so simple. It's like such simplistic humor in hindsight, but then you get to the guy behind it. He's fucking literal genius that that did this whole thing, and he just thought this was funny. And
here, I didn't see the doc. What are y'all talking like? So if you wanted, did you reference already? I can't remember.
There's a couple of podcasts. There's one I listened to Fly on the Wall. Dana Carvey, David Spade. They had one with Mike Judge, and then Shadwick. You found one. What was that one called? The Butt Chronicles or something like that.
That was just like it was on Spotify. It was just like some it was just somebody like doing a rundown of like every episode. But I listened to the Fly on the Wall, and then also he was on Howie Mandel's show.
Yeah, I listened to some of that one too.
And so between those two, there was actually a conflicting story I picked up where he was talking about where he got the voice for Hank Hill.
Damn it!
And one of them he talked
about. Oh, damn it! Oh.
One of them he talked about when he was a kid. He took over someone's paper route, and he went to collect, and the guy that opened the door is like, "Well, you're not my paper boy."
So
and he's like, "Well, I know I'm taking over for him." And he's like, "Well, I know what my paper boy looks like, and you're not it.
You're not my paper boy." So
yeah, I can't do the voice.
So, but I think that what I gathered, because I know what you're talking about. So there's there's that story, and then there's the story of the neighbors that kind of came to help him fix up his house, right? Yeah. So
that one's funnier.
The Mr. Anderson character from Beavis and Butthead is that first one, like where he's just kind of, and then Hank Hill is like, I think the persona of the guys. To those that don't know that story, he was trying to fix a fence or build a fence, I think, in his backyard.
Mike Judge, right?
Yeah, Mike Judge.
Repair a fence.
And then so his neighbors saw him out there, came out, and they were like, "Oh boy, you're doing it wrong." And so they help him. They're like, well, they had a post hole digger. Then they got the other neighbors' friends, and they come out, and then next thing you know, Mike Judge is sitting in his house while his neighbors completely repair his fence for him. And he's like, his wife's like, "What the hell happened?" He's like, "I don't know." And so like then he becomes like afraid to go outside and do anything because they're going to show him how he's doing it wrong. So it's just
I just want to say that's so beautiful because, and I think like Chris mentioned how simplistic these characters were, but they're so real. And I don't know if you ever, like, it may seem strange to some people, that story, but if you ever grown up in the South, there's just human beings here that are like that. Like, especially so, like, obviously, like, us three, like, grew up in the South, majority, like, Tennessee, Georgia area, the Alabama, that tri-state kind of area. And, I mean, when it would snow, I know you guys know, there's guys, like, I had friends that I knew that would just drive around in big trucks and just, like, with winches and pull people out of ditches.
Yeah, dude.
They were so excited. And, like, that's what they did. There's just people out there who do things like that. And Mike Judge, for some reason, has an ability to capture a realness. Like, everybody knew people who were like Beavis and Butthead before Beavis and Butthead. If you grew up before that time, because the characters are so real. Like, you just knew stupid freaking kids that were out there doing dumb shit, and maybe you were that person. Maybe you had a friend or whatever it was. But yeah, the characters, as dumb as they might be and caricatures as they are, they're really, really real. It's amazing how he's able to.
I may have told this story before, but I went to school with a couple of guys. They were twins, and they would just do like stupid shit, like like hit each other in the back of the head or whatever. And I remember we were at a field party.
Twin baseball.
And the like the sun was like setting behind them, and one of them just like kicked the other one like right in the nuts. Like they had cowboy boots on. God. And it just like he just kicks him right in the nuts, and he wasn't mad at him or anything. Like, they were just doing it to be fucking stupid. But I remember, like, just like it was yesterday, like the sun was like right behind them. Like you could just like see their silhouette, and when they did that, I could hear the guitar riff from Beavis and Butthead.
It's like a slow cinematic.
Yeah.
Like something at the end of a movie.
So
credits roll.
So after we got a little bit I guess we got the background and stuff now. Do y'all want to run through these? Like, we can start like with.
I want to ask a question to Chris. So explain. So you linked these to us. I don't know where you. So explain where you found these first and foremost, because if people try to find these, it may be a little difficult. And why are there multiple versions again? Because you kind of touched on that, but I want to hear it.
All right. So if you guys want to find this for yourself, I'm not going to link it. 'Cause I'm not going down for you freaks. There is a collection you can.
Bunch of ungrateful assholes.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. There is a collection out there called the King Turd Collection. It's linked.
So go find it.
Several Reddit threads. You'll be able to find it. You can download it. And what it is a full Beavis and Butthead collection with videos. So it's basically a collection of people that recorded it on their VCRs.
I got the VCR.
Uploaded it. Some of these were released with the DVDs, some weren't.
These are, and so yeah, for those who don't know, it's tough to find the music videos.
Yeah, because MTV owned them, and then when they stopped owning them, you know, you don't own the, when there's aired on MTV, it's kind of like the YouTube thing, right? Like, as long as we can use all this shit on YouTube and it's fine and dandy, but if we took that off YouTube's platform,
yeah,
then we'd be subject to some copyright laws if we weren't using it for fair use, which we fucking always are, for the love of God.
Can we stop this cruel game?
So, anyway,
Please.
so what Leaf said is there's actually different versions of these, and there's different videos that they watch. And so what I believe happened here is MTV went for the most bang for your buck. So they said, I don't know whose idea it was. It's actually pretty fucking genius, especially when Shadwick mentioned, you know, Mike Judge kind of struggling. You know, Beavis and Butthead has a buzz from Liquid TV. You're really trying to capitalize. I remember commercials all the time. You know, before it aired, it was like, we're like, oh shit, we're getting the frog baseball dudes in a full cartoon. And I remember, you know, I remember being mad when the videos were on, because I was like, no, I want a cartoon. I don't want to watch them watch a video. And I kind of, those ones that I linked and sent you guys, I kind of understand why, because there really wasn't a lot going on in those early videos.
So MTV pitched the idea to Mike Judge that they would be VJs, and
okay.
he didn't think that they were like smart enough characters to be in front of a camera. So
yeah, introducing videos and shit. For those of you who remember the old school 80s or late, you know, late 80s, early 90s videos where they'd be like, up next on 120 minutes we got you know, Soundgarden with the so that wouldn't work with
Fat
Beavis and
Penfield.
Butthead.
So what he did was he made a hybrid of Mystery Science Theater 3000 and whatever that show was that Downtown Julie Brown did back then, where she would she would watch a video like along with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And it but it was just basically them like kind of shitting on stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like it, but
if even
how much, you know, you already own the videos, or I guess they had to sign a waiver. So basically, like MTV, if they played your video, they could do whatever they wanted to with your video. Like Shadwick said, they could do the Julie Brown thing. They could
put
do
it in all
Beavis
of
and
their
Butthead.
shows and their properties, which is an amazing deal.
Yeah,
looking back.
Yeah, and you get whatever your baseline is, if anything. Actually, back then you were just stoked to be on MTV because your album sales usually went through the roof. So to cut down on, you know, animation and stuff, I think it was probably just a necessity, being the mother of invention here, to get, because you know, remember again, 92, this thing happens on Liquid TV. Liquid TV reran all the time, so this buzz was building, this swell for Beavis and Butthead. Because I remember being super excited when I heard, oh shit, there's going to be a whole series on this. And MTV had to get just, what did they get? 3 episodes, 4 episodes? If you
So was Liquid TV already a thing, and then Beavis and Butthead was added to it?
Yes.
Okay.
So Liquid TV was on, I think, a year before Liquid TV, or before they got Beavis and Butthead. I think they were on from like 91 to 95.
Yeah, it was just this late night show with just a bunch of sketches and nonsense.
Were you on top of this like right from the beginning?
Yeah,
I was. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I was. I'm not quite the aficionado as you guys are, but I was kind of late to the party. I actually remember I heard someone in class like doing the Butthead voice, and I thought it was hilarious. And I was telling somebody else, like in between classes or whatever, like so and so was like doing this voice, and I kind of mimicked him, and he's like, "It's Beavis and Butthead." So I had to go check it out.
Yeah,
I mean, that was still like it was like in the first season, but I didn't know like it was upcoming or anything.
See, we only knew, and I think Leaf is the one that turned me on to Liquid TV, and that's probably, I would assume, maybe from your older sister, or somebody
not.
somewhere. Who was it from?
It was from my neighbor,
yeah,
Matt.
yeah,
But
yep.
more importantly, not Matt and his brother Joe. Like not Matt and Joe. I had a couple of neighbors. They had an older brother, and I know Chris will remember him. He was a metalhead of metalheads. Long
black hair.
He would Megadeth T-shirts. Like he was the target audience for like probably the exact same age as Mike Judge, like the exact same age. And so he was the one that was just like, you know, like there was all kinds of metal shows and stuff on MTV back then too. And this kind of just all went into it. Like if you loved MTV and music videos, as MTV started to slowly transition into media, you'd see and we talked about it already, you started to see the music videos meld in with television shows, and they started just premiering all kinds of weird kind of homegrown things.
Like there was no continuity with these either. It was like they would have a new cartoon that maybe a one and done. They, you know, the Aeon Fluxes didn't connect in any fucking way. I remember that being a staple of those.
It reminded me of where Adult Swim kind of became. But Adult Swim is so much more clean, and there were established cartoons. This is just half the stuff when you were watching Liquid Television and some of the other animation that was on MTV at that time. Like, again, it played late at night, like, first and foremost. Like, it wasn't something MTV was, like, I would say, pushing or that was necessarily proud of. It just looked like stuff people made in their backyard. Like, the animation was so poor. And that includes Beavis and Butthead.
And I'm sure they got it for next to nothing from the artists. And
and there were shorts.
And they hit pay dirt on
claymation.
Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
Dude, it was all kinds of weird stuff.
I just remember, like, before Beavis and Butthead, like, my experience with MTV was just like I was flipping back and forth constantly from MTV to VH1, and I was always mad because it was the fucking B-52s, that damn Love Shack song.
It's as big as a whale, and it's about to set sail.
Right, that would be on, and I'm waiting for Janet Jackson video with my pants pulled down. Like what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Chadwick's ready to pound off.
He's like, I ain't got all night.
Man.
You're like on TED where they're talking about you're about to blow, and it's a transition shot, and you just got to finish.
An establishing shot.
An establishing shot. Yeah.
You blow to a exterior shot of a duplex.
Yeah.
Shady note. Okay. I derailed us.
Leaf, did you spit?
No.
No, I did
Damn.
not. I did not. Okay, no, I'm good. I'm still good. I was just laughing because.
So after this,
I mean, sometimes that Love Shack video would be on both channels.
I know.
They fucking play the BB2 so much, dude.
Bad.
Among multiple things.
Just looking at this, man, like actually seeing so Frog Baseball. This is crazy. Dropped like on Liquid TV like September 22nd, and then was like the Beavis and Butthead series and episode launched in March of the following year. So like that's crazy. Like that's a quick ass turnaround for animation back then.
That's huge, especially for somebody who was basically doing this. Like I said, I say in their backyard, but in their tool shed. You're just
whacking off in my tool shed. He's
just
whacking and whacking and whacking.
That was probably my favorite line. That and I can't do voices, but the
hey baby, want to wrestle?
Actually, before we get like too deep into it, I do have shit stuck in my head this week.
Beavis and Butthead, why in the hell aren't you undressed yet?
Because a man wants to have sex with us.
The old spit Spanish Fly episode. Once we said we were going to do this. So let's run down this a little bit, though. So Frog Baseball had 2 versions, which is crazy when you look at these. This
is not even season 1, though, right?
This is not technically season 1 because they showed this with season 1.
Okay, so all right.
But there were 2 versions of it, and there was an ass load of videos they showed with this. So what they did is they had Beavis and Butthead watch a bunch of videos, and then whatever time wasn't filled out in the episodes, they just tacked on videos, and then sometimes would put other videos with it to have a B version. We had actually 2 versions of Frog Baseball that would play during season 1 with videos. And to Shadwick's point earlier, this is the version of Frog Baseball that had the dog baseball part taken out of it, where you don't hear the dog yelp in the background. I will say they did end it with no animals were actually harmed making this video.
Right.
Yeah. It was just a terrible, terrible, uncouth joke.
Yeah, kind of a funny little nod to that it's a fucking cartoon. But Frog Baseball is very much as simple as you're gonna get. They're out in the field. They see a frog.
They're stupid and bored and young,
and gonna go play frog baseball. At one point, I think Beavis, like Butthead, misses it, like strikes out, quote unquote, and then Butthead hits Beavis on the back of the head with the baseball bat, and then does the airmail with the frog, and then fucking whacks it, and it's pretty gross. The next one,
it's terrible.
I will say that the videos on here, and these will repeat as we go through here. You have Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night, Garden of Eden by Guns N' Roses, which actually I found really fucking annoying when they were doing that one.
Yes.
Guar, of course, who they loved. Baby Got Back. That chick's got a nice butt. Rump Shaker by Rex and Effects, which I totally forgot about that. Then they have another one with Milli Vanilli, Girl You Know It's True, which I thought was so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was.
When they're watching it, he's like, that's not really him dancing. He gets his shit backwards and it's like not them singing, so he's like, no, that's actually not really him dancing or whatever. So of course, like then they got Judas Priest, Wilson Phillips. So anyway, the second one, which I already touched on a little earlier, was Peace, Love, and Understanding. They go to a monster truck rally to watch shit get blown up with a bunch of other like rednecks. Mr. Van Driesen tries to play an acoustic guitar to calm the crowd and gets fucking run over and killed. And then a giant shit monster covers the stadium in poo. It's fucking weird. But Mr. Van Driesen dying is really funny. So then we can go ahead and walk on to what actually is probably season 1 with a new episode, which is Door to Door. Again, you have Mr. Van Driesen, okay? So he's in the class, and they're trying to raise some money, and so they're sending everybody like door to door for charity, right?
He gives them the option. He gives them the option in class. He's like, all right, you can either do a book report and read books, or you can go door to door and ask for, basically beg for money. And obviously, Beavis and Butthead are like, disgusted by the idea of having to read.
Well,
same here.
Well, there's the joke about
oral.
You can do you can do a written or an oral report. And they're like,
Oral.
Yeah. Just any way to call attention to perversion, and like it seems so stupid now, but back then it's hilarious.
It was so funny.
And so funny, dude.
And I mean, even like Mike Judge says, like these 3 episodes that we're about to talk about are like pretty hard for him to watch because it's just I guess they were rushed. They're so raw. There's but there's like a charm to it.
I think it was the monster truck one where he said that he watched it recently and he's like, there's just nothing funny about it.
Yeah, I've signed me up for violence back then. Any cartoon violence, blood and gore made me and Leaf laugh our ass off for whatever reason. Someone.
It was just, again, you weren't used to seeing things like that. It's a cartoon.
Some psychiatrists can fucking dissect that later when we've done what we need to do in this world. But
I mean, yeah, it was.
We go do that thing that makes us feel like God.
I think the reason that he doesn't find anything funny about it is because obviously his sense of humor has advanced. He's done so many projects that are so much more clever. There's so much more work has gone into them comedically. Like, I think you start to lose your appreciation as you get older for the simplicity of just of ridiculous, over the top stupidity.
Also the shock value, right? Like, this was for the time. That's why, you know, when you talk about going back and watching the monster truck episode, it's like none of that's shocking anymore.
No.
You know, like, so, but back then it was like,
dude,
you had
you've
somebody
never
like
seen a cartoon like that
murdered
like
on the screen. Like,
How old was he when
he was
started
born in the
this?
60s, so he would have been in his 30s, 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there. So, I mean, that's I get it, but it's just like, it's just one of those where
you had to.
It was just shocking. You know, that stuff wasn't on there.
It was a period. It was a period in time where it was like you said, it was shocking. It was something you were ever going to really see on television. Like when you turned on the TV, you were going to see somebody get run over by a monster truck. That's unheard of.
I just always saw his work, especially Beavis and Butthead, was just kind of a pointing finger to like teenagers being, you know, the stupid, and society in general was just starting to break down and turn dumb.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
it's not wrong at all.
I mean, Idiocracy kind of hits a lot of checks a lot of boxes right now.
Checks a ton of boxes, man.
Yeah.
So do you guys have a play-by-play on the door-to-door that they go to? Because I remember there's the old lady. There's a lady that just slams the door in their face.
There's the guy who's basically lost his job.
He's drunk as fuck.
He's drunk as shit. He's wearing like a wife beater.
Yeah.
I think you might be thinking of two different ones. So there's the one that's like, good, I just lost my job. And
he takes their money.
He takes some money.
Yeah.
And then there's the dude that vomits in the cup.
Right. That was
that
was a drunk guy.
Yeah.
He feed the children. He's like, I got a dinner for you right here.
Yeah.
He throws up into the cup.
And then they go
to
Mistress, whatever her name is, Mistress Anthrax or something. Like,
I think that was it. So like the door just like swings open and they like take a step in and you just hear like off screen, it's like, I've been waiting for you boys.
Yeah.
And it's just this old woman with her saggy titties hanging down,
like leather outfit,
and
it's like a dominatrix
outfit with whips.
Yeah, Leaf, you know about those?
He does. It's true, Sandy.
Words out.
But so they're like, it cuts to them being like tied up in her house. Like, it's real fucking weird and dark real quick, and then
really fast.
But okay, so the animation is not great. But one thing I noticed rewatching that, if I'm remembering correctly, when it's showing her, there's like a lot of like harsh light, and I want to say like maybe she's even like off kilter a little bit, so like everything's kind of diagonal.
Yeah,
so it just like adds to that.
And she has like a wide stance too, like a real like weird. Yeah, it's just it's
almost borrowed from Eon Flux a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird, and I don't know where like you come up with this idea of like, yeah, they'll go door to door and then they'll just get fucking molested by this lady.
Which is basically what happens. Yeah.
We're gonna score.
They did not score.
You just hear them screaming, and then the mistress is like yelling at them to like commands, and then it cuts, and they're back in school again, like the next day, assumedly.
Yeah.
And Mr. Van Driesen's like, well, we collected an entire $8, and they're laughing about how a ridiculous low amount of money like it was that everybody collected, because no one ever gave a shit in the class,
right.
Just like real life. And he's like, except for Beavis and Butthead, who managed to collect a check for $100, and she left a note that basically was like, if you need more money, send these boys back anytime. I'm happy to help. And they're just Beavis and Butthead are traumatized.
Yeah, they're like
their faces are
trembling.
like,
yeah.
No.
It's so in this episode, there's actually 3 different versions of it with 3 different videos, which you'll find that like these repeat from what we talked about earlier. So Guns N' Roses, Garden of Eden, Baby Got Back, Madonna has one, 9 Inch Nails,
Erotica.
Yeah,
that one plays after you see the dominatrix scene.
Yes,
with Beavis and Butthead. Right after it plays the Madonna dominatrix video Erotica, which is
That's
hilarious
pretty smart,
in my opinion.
Man, have you seen her recently?
Will we stop with that? All right, look, we're a nostalgia podcast. Let me have my memories. Let me have my memories.
Don't ruin
Damn
this
it.
for us.
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails, Like a Hole, a classic. Suicidal Tendencies, Send Me Your Money.
But
Pretty poignant.
Yeah, they've got
all of these kind of relate to the the theme.
Yeah,
a
like
little bit. If you notice,
like the other
Wasn't there a Barry White video somewhere?
There is.
There is. That was actually in episode 2, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a strange video. The final video, I think, in one of the versions that Chris sent me, because I can't remember which is which, is LSD's "School is for Fools."
Yeah.
So I wanted to note, like, some of these actually pertain to the plot,
like a theme.
Yeah. So I wondered if like that was intentional. I imagine it was. Out of the thousands of videos you could have.
I wondered too if that was like how Mike Judge wanted to do it early on, and then I believe later on it was just like, fuck it, why don't we just cut to a clip of Beavis humping the couch? Yeah, monkey boy. So that'll wrap up that first one.
I'm just saying, why can't Madonna wear a sensible pantsuit?
Damn you. Go back to your shanties. This is golf, people. So the second one is called Give Blood, which you can go ahead and guess it. They're trying to, I guess, get some money. Because where do they want to go? They want to go to like
there's two reasons.
Well, they want to go to the movies to see that the Intern, which was a Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's a double deal because
he'll be back
also believe
for your spleen.
For your spleen, yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger rips out somebody's freaking kidney or liver or whatever. And Beavis and Butthead, my synopsis says they sell their blood so they can get tickets to a movie and so they can get fucked up because they're under the assumption you're gonna get. They're gonna get high or be offered alcohol by giving blood.
So, and to bring that back later, in Arnold Schwarzenegger's real movie True Lies, there's a part where he says he's trying to like see some perps. He's like, I'm just trying to get a better look at Beavis and Butthead here.
Damn, man! I wonder if that was like a.
It had to be
a little nod, man.
Little nod scheme.
Beautiful.
But,
beautiful.
But to your point here on these videos, I guess we'll just go ahead and finish out the plot. So they're gonna go give blood, which the lady that's doing the actual blood, the blood donor place is every nurse lady I've ever seen in my life. And the conversation she has on the phone where she's like yelling at you assume is her ex or whatever, like you just think you can come back in just like that or whatever, and like she's like, so like this guy's coming back, I guess left her, and she's like,
she says, I'm like, I birthed your child. Something. You just ran
on her baby daddy.
And you just
trailer trash.
You just ran off.
And then she like ends with like, all right, just be there about 8 o'clock.
and wear that mesh shirt.
The mesh shirts, yes.
Just accepts him back, and that shit was genius, dude. And this goes back to what I was saying. Like his characters are so real, man. Or at least for me.
As they're walking to the blood bank, like there's all these signs like we do not pay for blood.
Yeah, it's
whatever,
free donation or whatever.
They're like seeing all these signs as they're walking in, and he's like, we want to be rich.
I know. And so this whole time that she's on the phone, for some reason, they are gushers, and their bags are just like filling up to the top. You can see them almost being like sucked down like a Capri Sun.
It's just awful, man. And so they gave blood.
And so like they give blood. She gives them the bags of blood for some reason. Like, hey, they
take it with them.
They take it with them. I think they get a
That's
Fig
the part
Newton.
I understand. She on both versions that I saw, she's basically like, well, since you guys are like not feeling good, we'll postpone your blood donation today. But they
have these
like tons
sacks of blood, and they're like walking
blood.
or whatever. And then blood, not funny. So they go back.
Not funny.
They go back to the house. They're on the couch, and then they see what is it on TV that says like blood? It's a bloodbath or whatever. And then so Butthead like smashes his bag of blood on Beavis, and that's how the episode ends. But to Leaf's point, the Olivia Newton-John physical, which what a fucked up video this was, by the way.
Physical.
That fat dude.
That fat dude, man. Yeah, he's just
fat guy.
Yeah, he's a fat guy. But then there's I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones, Painkiller by Judas Priest, Bloodletting by Concrete Blonde, like
yes,
all kind of on par with that.
The theme of I guess if you could call it that. Not really much.
At least for version 1. Version 2 is a whole bunch of shit that doesn't make sense. But
they have a Hurricane by the Scorpions.
Yeah, Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. But they do have that Jackal song where they use the chainsaw.
The Lumberjack, I think it's called, where he does the chainsaw solo. You guys got to look that up. Jackal the Lumberjack.
They actually came to Chattanooga. They tried to do some shit where they broke a sidebar. Jackal was trying to break a most concerts played in a month, I think. And they actually, in our Media Play parking lot, set up like a free concert on this like mobile
Media
stage.
Play, man, I miss that place.
Yeah,
Media
me too.
Play, yeah, there's a throwback for y'all.
So they did the show there. I remember some people, they were like, "Man, I can't wait to see him do the chainsaw solo," and I'm like, "God damn it."
You suck, and Beavis and Butthead were right about all of you.
You're stupid. You're a dumbass.
That's also where we get Shadwick's. I don't even know what it was. It was like Barry White and Luther Vandross or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what song that was. I tried to find it.
It wasn't Luther.
It wasn't Luther. It was fucking
Big
Barry White.
Dad,
Somebody
it was
else.
Big Daddy Kane featuring Barry White. All of Me.
Oh, okay. I couldn't figure it out which one that was, but that was excellent. And then one of my favorites, Scatterbrain.
Metaphor for a crap song.
The Scatterbrain, Don't Call Me Dude, which again, like Chris said, doesn't really pertain.
Yeah,
I think I'm starting to honestly believe the conspiracy theory we just created here. I think Mike Judge wanted the music videos to pertain to the episode. That's starting to look more.
And then
like
I think
the
after that,
case.
I think he was just kind of like, probably after this, he's like, it's not fucking worth it.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone cared. I don't think anyone was getting it.
Yeah.
Because the audience clearly was there to watch Beavis and Butthead fucking get run over by cars and take dumps in stalls, with the sound effects and then the music videos turned out to be like kind of a bonus.
Yeah.
But I think upon rewatching it now, I think I enjoy the commentary over the videos.
Oh,
it's
especially
excellent, dude.
Especially on the new ones. They have again, he's genius. They're looking at TikTok videos
or YouTube videos, or they're whores in this house. That one is probably the funniest fucking thing I've seen in like 2 years. I laughed so fucking hard at that.
They brought it back with that one.
That one, and they're watching Post Malone, and whatever song, whatever video it is, this girl's mouth is like melted, like closed or whatever. And he's like, finally someone that can't say that she doesn't like their music.
Yeah. Anyway, it's on Paramount Plus. Go watch all the new episodes. They're fucking hysterical.
And before we move to the next episode, I just gotta say that there's no other version of No One Compares to You.
Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, no, there's no other version than Chris Cornell's.
That's true. Yeah, that's a very good version.
Forgot about that. Yeah,
you're gonna have to tighten that up because I went fucking outer space for a second.
I got you, man. So, all right, man, let's move over to the 3rd or 5th episode, depending on your understanding of the space-time continuum. It's just called Balloon, where they're watching. I assume this is like a parody of, what was that lady's name? Sally Struthers.
Sally Struthers, yeah.
So, all right.
That's my kid.
But it was so everybody's to remember, this is before like Sarah McLachlan
Are we all just stroking out? Yeah.
Basically, Sarah McLachlan and her stupid ass, like, animal abuse videos.
Sad, like, yeah.
Yeah, so this is way before that.
A way to ruin a good song.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, this was way before that, and it was Sally Struthers was always like had these campaigns for. She was always like over the top,
charity,
upset about it, and so they had a cartoon parody, and she's talking about, I guess, like balloons can get stuck like in the
dolphins' mouth.
Yeah, it was about pollution, and then like dolphins dying because of pollution, and like balloons getting stuck in the blowholes or whatever.
Yeah, and so like then the little like idea bubble pops up, and Beavis and Butthead are now going to kill dolphins. With
They're going to go
balloons.
murder animals. With
balloons. So they go to like a party store or whatever, and they get like a bunch of balloons with helium, and the guy goes, "What's the occasion?" And the double entendre is fucking great. He goes, "It's a gag."
Yeah. It's perfect though, right? Like that's genius. Like
it's so flawless,
so funny. And so now they're going to basically SeaWorld.
Yeah, it looks like SeaWorld, like to go kill dolphins.
And so like,
wait, are you saying see the world?
So we're
or SeaWorld?
I waste time, say lot word when few word do trick.
So they go, they're basically at SeaWorld with these balloons. They're trying to figure out, I guess, how they're going to kill all these dolphins. Butthead lets go of it. So Beavis starts floating, and then Butthead's gonna do the old, where you shoot the slingshot, I guess, and pop the balloon. But he hits Beavis in the nads, which is always funny, always good for a gag. So he falls in the. This is where like the animation is pretty bad, but like he falls into the actual tank, and it's just like a replay of the dolphins over and over again behind him while he's like screaming, and then they just cut and they're like, okay, that was it for the dolphins. Now our trained hammerheads are coming out to do like so
they release
sharks tank with him in there.
Early in the episode,
he's screaming.
They're watching videos, and wasn't there? They make some joke about a guy being neutered or something because he's singing high. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's Frank Eifeld. I remember you.
Okay, so like they're joking about that, and right after they pick up the balloons, they go and they suck helium.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's right.
Trying to get high, and so Beavis talks with like the helium voice, and then Butthead does, and they're like, "We're neutered."
They're like so in both versions that song is in there. So there would be continuity in that. With that in the episode, but so
and perhaps the Dirty Deeds also, from AC/DC.
That isn't both of them as well, and so is Faith No More.
So potentially,
so he's in the tank now. The hammerhead sharks are swimming around, and then Beavis just fucking pisses himself, which I guess deters the sharks, and then there's
murdering him.
There's apparently a pollution alarm that goes off, and then he's rescued, and then that's pretty much it. Cuts to class, and then it's like asking Beavis if he did it because he was smart, or what was it? Was it because you're smart or because you're scared or whatever? But it's just it's a weird fucking. These kind of fall flat on a lot of endings because there's just not a lot there, right? It's like
there's nothing there. It's like it literally is two idiots just doing whatever bullshit.
And if they just took the episodes themselves, I mean, you're looking at 5 minutes, 7 minutes, maybe.
If even
maybe 10 if you're lucky. Like so, I mean, you had to have probably all three of these to do like one full episode, or just an assload of videos, which is what they did.
Them sitting on the couch watching music videos is like
and they really
low
like
effort,
and they're not really doing a whole lot there's a couple one-liners here on the videos on these early episodes, but the later ones are where they really like hit stride, like season 2, season 3, where they really start like. So I think Mike Judge said initially he just kind of wanted them like kind of chuckling and laughing and not really saying a lot of stuff,
but which is what you kind of get in a lot of cases. There's a lot of points. There's a lot of dead silence where you're just kind of watching the video with them, and they're not really saying or doing anything.
So, listeners out there, let us know what your favorite season of Beavis and Butthead was, and
or we'll try to or moment.
We'll try to do a review.
Yeah,
we'll do an episode on that season.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea. It'd be a fun little trip down memory lane. So I know this was kind of a shorter episode for us today, but this was good to go back and watch, man, because I do remember watching them. I just don't remember. I didn't remember a lot about these episodes at all. So it was. I didn't
either.
It was kind of good to go back and get those early videos, which we will find when we go down the rabbit hole a little more. A lot of these videos repeat even in season 2 and season 3. Like this, so they'll reach back and throw something in there. I don't know if they just thought it was funny or if they.
Or maybe the animation kind of already syncs up, or did they redo that too?
Not funny.
I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I actually don't really even have a you didn't know this week because it was really just a short episode, man. We're getting some in the can. So I do want to leave us with our I guess before anything of that, you guys have anything else you want to add, man? Beavis and Butthead season 1, Mike Judge, a goat, of course.
If you're really curious about where Beavis and Butthead began, we highly suggest you go try to find these episodes. Like
King
they're out
Turd
there.
Collection.
There it is on the internet. They're out there. Again, they're very, very simplistic, but you can see the beginnings of what would be, a legendary animation series that actually is still going to this very day. As Chris mentioned, I think Paramount Plus, they're still making episodes. Obviously, there's a hiatus before they brought it back and when it ended, I think in the late 90s.
Two different. They had the Resurrection on MTV in like 2010, and then MTV didn't want to renew it again because they're fucking pieces of dog shit. And then guess what? Now Paramount did. That's Viacom owned. So
well, I mean, they did have an all-time low where Beavis was singing harmony with Cher.
Oh damn! I forgot about that again. You got to remind me of that shit. But also, there's a movie too, right? Like there's the Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Couple of movies, right?
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead Do America
and Do the Universe.
Yeah, and Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe.
Yeah,
which is fucking hysterical. If you haven't seen that one is fucking amazing. Like, God
so
bless.
y'all have. There's plenty of that content out there. If you haven't revisited Beavis and Butthead, which on its surface, as we watched these, it reminded me how simplistic it was, but I also see why it grew into what it did, because there's what you see when you watch these old episodes is a base level of something that could be so much more. And thankfully, whoever it was at MTV and Mike Judge just, decided to collaborate and keep it going, because it became what it is, now, which is just this legendary series of just two fucking idiots doing the dumbest shit ever.
They evolved.
And it's still funny.
They evolved.
They did.
So
and it's still funny.
It works. So, all right, man. Well, let's go ahead and leave you with Shadwick submitted Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
This is interesting. A study has found that the average high school prom goer now spends $1,000, or $2,000 if you count the abortion. Have you ever been with a girl that had an abortion? Sir. Sir.
This guy goes in and they go, hey, 10th one's free. Hit his card.
I do have a lot of abortions.
Under your belt.